Hey, what's up, guys? Well, today is the day of the fight between Hurd and Jose Resendiz. Resendiz. All right. He's apparently he dropped the Jose and now he's going by Armando Resendiz. All right. At least that's what they did at the press conference. All right. But I'm excited to see what this guy will do with his opportunity tonight. A young fighter, prospect coming up, fighting a former unified world champion. All right. I think that his team, his handlers, his management, maybe even his trainer, if he had a say so or some input in it, I think they all view this the way that I view it. That Hurd really should not be fighting. He's rusty. He's inactive. He's taking too much damage. He didn't look good in his last fight. All the damage he took from that fight can't be good for him going forward from that fight. They're trying to catch Hurd at the right time. And, if Resendiz comes forward letting his hands go, all right, I feel like he should win this fight. He's the younger, fresher fighter. I don't see him being a future world champion. He does not appear to be defensively blessed from what I saw. But I'm going with him because I believe Hurd is done. Because of the damage that he's taken in his career. I thought he was shot going into the Arias fight, and he took a lot of damage in that fight. Overhand right after overhand right after overhand right. All right. Then after that, nearly 2 years out the ring. So nothing but rust and inactivity. And then if you want to really get deep into it, he lost his dad during COVID. All right. So, the emotional toll that he's been through, will that be on his mind tonight? Being in a fight and his dad not being around. You got to take all these things, even personal things, into consideration. He said at the press conference, I really didn't think it was a big deal at the time, but he said at the press conference that that he didn't leave home, that he was comfortable at home training, not leaving his hometown or whatever, where he lives. And I didn't really think nothing of it. Now, that's kind of, generally seen as a bad thing. You want fighters to get away, get out of their comfort zone, be able to focus on training, stuff like that, all right? I really was not thinking about it because I think the guy's done anyway. But I heard Ness say on the Boxing Voice yesterday that he said they, and I'm assuming he's talking about people in Hurd's camp on his team. I guess people that he know. It's some inside information, all right. He said that that they wanted him to go to Vegas, leave home and go to Vegas to train for the fight, to get quality sparring, get good sparring, right? As opposed to staying home, all right, to where he, now let's just say this, but this is me saying this, to where he probably is getting less quality of sparring, if he's sparring at all. It wouldn't surprise me, if all this inactivity is his heart really into it. Dan Rafael said that he talked to him and he was like done with boxing, but then he saw Charlo become undisputed, and then he got motivated again, felt like he could beat all these guys, blah blah blah. That's what got him back into it. If not, trying to get some paydays, all right. But could his heart not be into it to where he didn't spar for this camp, to where he looking at this as this young guy, he not on my level. He lost to a guy that was 14-4. I really don't need to spar for this guy. Like, this guy not on my level. I'm not saying that's what he said or what happened, but it's possible. It is possible. Is he taking this guy lightly? Did he take this guy lightly? He said, this 24-year-old kid, he a prospect. This is a good tune-up for me to come back. I see Resendiz as being a younger fighter, a fresher fighter, a guy who's going to let his hands go more than Jared Hurd, a guy who's going to have better hand speed than Jared Hurd. I watched, it was somebody put like a little highlight video of the fight with Arias, right? And man, Jared Hurd's punches was slow. I mean, he was letting his hands go some. He did not work Arias, not from what I can recall. But I think the guys that Resendiz has fought lately, guys that were in their 20s, I think these guys have better hand speed and probably let their hands go more than Jared Hurd, will in this fight. All right. There's not some smaller guy. He's not this huge ass 154-pounder fighting. Smaller guys. He can, come forward on with all his power and pressure and shit. No. At the weigh-in, as I saw on BoxRec, Hurd might have maybe a half an inch on the guy in height. And Resendiz was in great shape. So I think the guy is young, hungry. I think the fire burning more in him. I think Jared Hurd will be very hittable. And he is a slow starter. He started out slow against Tony Harrison. He started out slow with Resendiz Lara. Kind of was like a come from behind type fighter. And then the loss that Resendiz took, I think if I remember correctly, he threw over 500 punches in that fight, and that was a 10-round fight. So, if he's letting his hands go like that and coming at Hurd, I think he has a good shot at winning this fight. At plus 360, it was worth the play in my opinion. And shout out to Black Horseman. He pointed this out, which I didn't say him in the last video, but Hurd has lost 2 of his last 3 fights. So that's not good. He hasn't had a knockout since maybe 2018 or 2019 or some shit like that. Against a guy that I can't even recall who it was. I think it was the fight after he beat Lara. He fought some easy fight. He knocked the guy in the 4th round, I believe, on the BoxRec. So guys, if this young boy brings the fight to Jared Hurd, and does not get robbed, I think he has a good chance of winning this fight. Now, full disclosure, I did, in hindsight, I regret it. I should have just single bet this fight, but I did a parlay with him and John Jones. I'm very confident John Jones will beat Cyril Gane. I have seen Jones lose. I thought he lost to Gustafsson in the first fight. I thought he lost to Thiago Santos and to I'm forgetting the guy's name, Dominic Reyes. I thought he lost those fights. But somehow, some way, he even on his bad nights, he has that horseshoe up his ass. He gets good decisions. And but I wasn't impressed. I only saw Gane fight once, and that was when he fought in Gane. I was not impressed with him. I was glad he did not become champion because he was on the outside, bouncing around on his feet, and kind of point fighting and shit. And as John Jones pointed out, he had problems with Francis Ngannou's wrestling. All right, who is not a wrestler at all. He is a striker. All right, a power puncher. A guy that goes for the knockout, and he was having problems with his wrestling. All right, that was a year ago. Maybe he improved, but guys, I'm going with Jones confidently in that fight. I believe that he is strongly looking forward to adding heavyweight champion to his legacy. All right. And just overall skill and more better than Gane. All right, maybe Gane has a puncher's chance, but Jones has shown that he has a great chin. Hell, he is just as big as Gane, man. I think they say he weighed more than Gane, and they basically are the same height. So forget about John Jones being a light heavyweight. He is a heavyweight now. Really, he always was. He was a heavyweight cutting down. And like he said, he has trained with heavyweights over the years at Jackson Wink. So, this ain't nothing new to John Jones. And Shevchenko, I just believe is I just don't see Alexa Grasso really being much of a challenge. The odds are reflecting that. Shevchenko is a dominant fighter. I thought she lost the last fight though. I think it was the last fight against what's the girl name, Suarez, Tatiana, whatever her name is. But I just see her being too much for Grasso. Grasso really not on her level. If Grasso wins, it'll be one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. So really, that's it, guys. I parlayed Jones and Shevchenko, and I parlayed uh, Resendiz and John Jones. In hindsight, I wish I would have just single betted Resendiz. All right, and unfortunately, at Caesar's William Hill, I cannot change it. All right, so that's what I'm doing tonight. Good luck to you if you place wagers. Enjoy the fights, and I'll check in soon. Thanks for watching.